It's been yet another day when India Today's big expose, the HurriyatTruthTapes, reverberated all the way from Delhi to the Kashmir Valley. Today in Srinagar, Naeem Khan did a press conference. At least he thought it was a press conference, except he didn't answer any question. He gave a long monologue, said that the movement in Kashmir is indigenous and that it is funded by the people of Kashmir. His press conference at total odds with what he said in India Today's investigation. The problem now is we've heard Hurriyat leaders in the past also make such lofty claims. But now, to know the truth, all you have to do is look at their press conference and what's being said there in the context of what they've admitted to in the India Today expose, the HurriyatTruthTapes. Take a look at our lead story tonight, filed by our braveheart journalists, Ashutosh Mishra, Anindya Banerjee, Sujaul Haq and Ashraf Wani. India Today's special investigation team has obtained clinching evidence of Pakistan choreographing this rage in collaboration with its agents among separatists. Naim Khan is the provincial president of the Hurriyat's Gilani faction. He stealthily travels down to Delhi to meet our reporters who posed as potential funders. Listen in to his startling disclosures. Pakistan funneling hundreds of crores to the Hurriyat to plunge Jammu and Kashmir into its worst unrest in decades.
पिछले 3 साल से चाह रहा था कि ऐसी चीज हो, कैसे इतनी बड़ी पावरफुल एजिटेशन चले
जो अब चलिए बुरहान वादी के बाद 5 महीने जो अब चल रही है।
हाँ, चल रही है। मतलब वो इतना भी नहीं चाहते थे, कहीं वो 1 महीना चाहते थे कि पावरफुल 1 महीना ऐसा नहीं होता। मतलब इसमें बड़ी चीजें फिर शामिल हो जाती हैं।
उनकी फाइनेंशियल सपोर्ट रही इस वाले में, प्रेजेंट
में रहा, बट जिस लेवल का होना चाहिए
फिर भी
जिस लेवल का मैंने
100 करोड़ तो रहा होगा,
छोटी सी बात
इतना तो रहा ना,
तो उससे ज्यादा ही रहा, बट मैं कहता हूँ
ज्यादा ही रहा।
Now he explains how Islamabad laundered its dirty money. The first ever disclosure by any Kashmiri separatist leader caught on tape.
Different parties.
आपकी फंडिंग है वो मतलब साल के हिसाब से वो करते हैं आपकी फंडिंग या हाउ दे फंड यू?
डिफरेंट,
या क्वार्टरली दे फंड यू,
क्वार्टरली
या एनुअली दे फंड यू?
कभी मतलब क्वार्टरली और 6 मंथली इस तरीके से
आ जाता है।
और कभी कभार वो ऐसा भी होता है कि वो कहीं सऊदीया में रहते हैं, कतर में किस्त देते हैं, वहाँ से वहाँ गया, वहाँ से इधर आ गया दिल्ली, फिर आपने यहाँ से मुझे दिया। थोड़ा सा उसमें भी होता है, परसेंटेज बीच वाला कट भी करता है, जैसे पाकिस्तान से वहाँ गया।
Next, Khan also explains his group's role in torching schools. Khan proudly boasts about supporting these attacks.
तो ये स्कूल चलाना भी हुर्रियत की मूवमेंट का हिस्सा है।
हालात को खराब करने के लिए आपको पैरोस चाहिए, चाहे वो रेलवे स्टेशन जले, पुलिस स्टेशन जले, चाहे स्कूल जले, पंचायत जले, अलावा चाहे हॉस्पिटल, जाती तो में हॉस्पिटल के खिलाफ नहीं होना चाहिए। तो मतलब कैओस क्रिएट करने के लिए यू हैव टू डू सर्टेन थिंग्स। गवर्नमेंट प्रॉपर्टी हो, एमएलए पर पथराव हो, एमएलए की पिटाई इतनी सड़कों पर रात भर हुई, उनके घर जलाना, एमएलए के घरों पर प्रेशर माउंट करना। अभी तो 35 ही चले हैं,
35 स्कूल जल रहा है, तो सपोर्ट तो आप ही का है, इसलिए मैं कह रहा हूँ।
नहीं, वो तो है जली बिकॉज ऑफ मस्जिद में हम ही तो थे वहाँ।
नईम साहब नहीं होते तो फिर सपोर्ट नहीं होगा तो कैसे हो जाएगा?
कोई भी चीज सपोर्ट के बगैर नहीं होगी।
Quoting a price to keep the Kashmir Valley in turmoil. Separatists unmasked on India Today's camera.
300-400 करोड़ 500 करोड़ अगर आज पंप हो 3 महीने और कैरी ऑन किया जा सकता है। और जैसे आपने कहा इंटेंसिटी बढ़ाने से ही अब चलेगा, क्योंकि फैटिग भी आ जाता है ना। पहले डंडा हम कम चलाते थे, अब डंडा ज्यादा चलाना।
पाकिस्तान में सर आप किसके टच में हैं?
नहीं, हमारे भी लोग हैं वहाँ, नवाज शरीफ के साथ हैं, बाकी लोगों के साथ भी हैं, कोई ऐसा नहीं।
गिलानी साहब किसके टच में पाकिस्तान में?
गिलानी की जमात इस्लामी वहाँ है और फिर एजेंसियाँ भी हैं।
कोई टच में है इनमें से कुछ?
गिलानी साहब थोड़ा सा रहा है, थोड़ा सा उनके साथ ना, थोड़ा सा।
किनका? हाफिज सईद ने गिलानी साहब को फंड किया है। कितना सर?
सब कुछ तो नहीं पूछते, बट हमें जहाँ जहाँ पता चलता है तो वो ठीक ठाक किया उन्होंने भी किया।
10-20 करोड़
ज्यादा किया। राष्ट्रीय रजिस्ट्रेशन तो आपसे, क्योंकि उसको ये फायदा हुआ, उसने पूरे पाकिस्तान में एक ड्राइव भी फिर चलाया इस नाम पे ना, कलेक्शन ऑफ फंड्स के नाम पे।
And now he reveals who in Pakistan gives what to which leader in Kashmir.
अच्छा, ये हाफिज सईद से जो फंडिंग है हुर्रियत को, ये पाकिस्तान की जो गवर्नमेंट फंड करती है उससे अलग है?
ये अलग है।
तो उसने अभी देना शुरू किया या पहले से दे रहा है हाफिज सईद?
ज्यादा नहीं करता था, पहले उसका अपनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन थी उसकी, बट लास्ट ईयर उसने कर ली ठीक ठाक।
तो गिलानी जो पाकिस्तान से फंडिंग हुर्रियत को होती है वो डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हो जाती है।
इतना बड़ा सिस्टम चला रहे हैं तो कहाँ जाएगा?
तो इन्होंने बताया सबसे पहले गिलानी साहब के पास जाती है, चेयरमैन है हुर्रियत की, उनके पास पाकिस्तान की फंडिंग जाती है, फिर
इसके पास जाती है,
फिर यासीन के पास जाती है।
Ready to unleash a new wave of unrest anytime. Choking separatist finances, therefore, seems to be the key to peace in the Kashmir Valley. With Jamshed Khan and Sushant Pathak, this is the India Today Special Investigation Team. My colleagues Anindya Banerjee and Ashutosh Mishra were in Srinagar when Naeem Khan did this shambolic press conference. He spoke in a monologue initially, and then when Ashutosh, you see him there in that blue shirt, started asking questions, Naeem Khan lost his cool at the first question itself, right at the outside, started getting angry, waving his hand in a very aggressive fashion. Let me take you through a blow-by-blow account on what Naeem Khan did and said in this press conference. Remember, right now the NIA is on the lookout for him. He hasn't presented himself before the NIA just yet. And the NIA says they hope to be able to get him in their net very soon.
Exposed and cornered.
Listen to me.
They have no cover left, no place to hide.
Okay, why don't you answer questions? You're running away, sir.
Now they are growling instead of answering straight questions.
If you're taking fund from Pakistan, how it is indigenous movement? This is indigenous. You are not. You are cheaters. You take fund from Pakistan, how it is indigenous movement, sir? Who are you? I'm not answerable to you. Who are you?
Hurriyat leader Naeem Khan, stung by our investigation, faced with our resolute reporters.
You have to answer questions, sir. You have to answer questions. All of your questions. I think my local media, social media, I answered your and I am ready. अगर कोई भी TV channel मुझसे अलग से बात करना चाहती है, that channel is welcome. I am not off because I have nothing to hide. Okay, sir. We are very. Please come here, sir. You India Today. You guys, you are the cheaters. Okay, why don't you answer questions? You're running away, sir.
First, the Hurriyat leader used lies as a face saver, only to end up contradicting himself.
Doctored, simulated, and a college of bits and pieces. It does not have a shred of credibility, as do all its biased, partial, myopic reporting. That Pakistan is supporting this movement at diplomatic level, political level. Kyun nahi karega? It is their moral obligation because they are administrating one part of Kashmir. यहाँ के लोगों ने 2016 में इस मूवमेंट को फंड किया, चाहे वो कश्मीर में रहने वाले लोग हैं, जम्मू कश्मीर में, पूंछ, रजौरी, डोडा, चिनाब और दिस पीर पंचाल में, या एक्सपेट्रिएट कश्मीरी जो हैं, क्यों नहीं देंगे? ये मूवमेंट है.
Naeem Khan nailing his own lie, unwittingly repeating what he had said in our expose that he and his outfit are on Pakistani support.
जो पाकिस्तान से फंडिंग हुर्रियत को होती है वो डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हो जाती है.
इतना बड़ा सिस्टम चला रहे हैं तो कहाँ जाएगा.
तो इन्होंने बताया सबसे पहले गिलानी साहब के पास जाती है, चेयरमैन है हुर्रियत की, उनके पास पाकिस्तान की फंडिंग जाती है, फिर
इसके पास जाती है,
फिर यासीन के पास जाती है.
And just hours after the press conference, Naim was suspended from the Hurriyat. Separatist leaders in Kashmir stand completely exposed, and now only one question remains. When will the valley get Azadi from the real villains? With Ashutosh Mishra and Anindya Banerjee in Srinagar, Bureau Report, India Today.
The big breaking news at this moment is the latest release sent out by the National Investigation Agency, in which they're giving a blow-by-blow account of their investigation so far. I want to read to our viewers the entire report that's been sent to me just a short while before now. Today, the National Investigation Agency has questioned Farooq Ahmed regarding the Hawala and terror funding issue. Naeem Khan and Gazi, Javed Baba have also been asked to appear. They've been asked to produce certain documents for examination. The hotel in Srinagar in which the sting operation took place has been identified. The NIA team is completing formalities of identification of room, collection of records. The NIA is probing all angles of the funding of separatist leaders. The NIA has collected the copies of FIRs of about 150 cases and analysing these FIRs registered in the valley in the recent past regarding damage caused to the schools and public property as part of the larger conspiracy to perpetuate violence and chaos in Kashmir. The probe is continuing. Kamaljeet Sandhu is joining me on this broadcast from Srinagar. The NIA seems to have gotten off the blocks very quickly, compiling already 150 FIRs. They've also looked, I mean, given the speed at which probes move usually, the NIA seems to be moving ahead with great purpose. Kamaljeet.
Well, absolutely, Rahul. In fact, looking in on all the accused, remember, Farooq Ahmed, alias Bitta Karate, he himself had presented before the anti-terror agency, so he's been examined. The other accused, Naeem Khan and Gazi, Javed Baba, but still the interrogation, we've been told, is still on. So clearly the NIA has put his back together. They've also examined the hotel. Remember, they're also going to be collecting evidence. Some evidence will be related to the schools which have been burned down. Yes, this is going to be a long-drawn legal process, because remember, even though all the accused have now been identified and have been asked to produce certain documents, this is going to be also about cross-border funding, something which will involve about banks of Pakistan, where the transaction came in, whether there was any Hawala account money which really came in. These factors will be taken in, but what is also more important is the criminality in the case, where he's openly admitted about burning down 35 schools. So yes, all of this will be a part of examination, but at this point of time, all the three making them available to the anti-terror agency, who is now drilling them.
The Hurriyat getaway, thank you very much, Kamaljeet, by saying that we've acted against Naeem Khan. He's no longer a part of us. I've got joining us on this broadcast representing the BJP, Shazia Ilmi. We've got Gohar Gilani, he's an academic writer, analyst out of Srinagar. We've got Sushil Pandit with us in the studio. The one thing, Sushil, that's pinching the most, that's shaped and influenced opinion in the valley, is when Naeem Khan accepts that he's burned schools.
Absolutely.
You know, these are the young kids of Kashmir. Look at where their children are.
Yes.
In comparison with that, look at what they want the kids of Kashmir to do. And now he's on camera accepting he's burning. That seems to have hit hard where it hurts the most.
And so gleefully, literally asking us to hire them to do these jobs on an ongoing basis. I mean, it is Hurriyat's resume for a job, application at Pakistan desk. But this kind of money, this is what we will deliver. And nobody is alleging it. They are admitting to it in their own voice. They're boasting about it.
Gohar Gilani, you agree that that's the part that's hurting the most, where Naeem Khan says on camera in his own voice, schools in Kashmir, that Pakistan pays them to burn schools. They want youngsters to go out, pelt stones on the streets of Kashmir, where they themselves are burning schools where youngsters should be going to study. Gohar Gilani.
Rahul, I hope you will allow me to complete my point, because on 2 previous occasions you just did not allow me to complete. First point, you must read a book, Cowboys, in which D. Raman on page number 208 admits that all Indian intelligence agencies, including IB and RAW, were funding the LTT movement in Sri Lanka. You should also read Blood Telegram. There's a chapter called Indira Gandhi. And in that chapter, it says how India raised Mukti Bahani in case of Bangladesh. So what you're talking about, all movements are funded in one way or the other way. The only problem is, you just want to go with your monologue. I have heard this repeatedly. You repeat the same thing again and again.
Or not.
What is your problem?
The issue is what you do with that funding.
Out of 180 countries, India is ranked 139.
What you do with that funding.
So now you are saying, okay, one second. Sushil Pandit is now accepting, yes, Pakistan funds the Hurriyat. Yes, now we can't run away.
Yes.
That admission you've denied. Now what you're taking as a given is what the Hurriyat is denied for 20 years.
Yes.
Now you're saying, okay, the Mukti Bahini, the LTT, all of that is separate. At least now you're accepting as the gospel and the undisputed truth that the crooks in the Hurriyat conference are funded by their puppet masters in the ISI. That's a given. That you can't go away from.
Who is funding all friendly ministers in Jammu and Kashmir? Arey Rahul bhai, baat suno.
No, one kind of funding would justify another kind of funding, but the point is, you are getting your schools
Rahul bhai, I'm saying, Mr. VK Singh, Mr. VK Singh, Arey bhai, baat to suno yaar.
Arey aap ek baar mera sawal ka jawab to do na.
Will you allow me to answer or not?
But you're not answering my question. If you did, I'd stay silent.
Aap to sunte hi nahi ho jawab yaar.
Because you don't answer.
I'm answering you. I'm telling you, your former army chief, Mr. VK Singh, is accused of funding all friendly ministers in J&K. He paid 1.19 crore to Ghulam Hasan Mir. What do you have to say about that?
Gaur Gilani, listen to my question. Gaur Gilani, turn that audio down. Gaur, listen to my question. My question is, the one part of the India Today expose that seems to hurt and pinch the most is the part where Naeem Khan admits he's burning schools in Kashmir, which is why Hurriyat conference has been forced to throw him out, because he's now on camera accepting that he's burning schools in Kashmir.
Human ko as a shield use karenge, wo sahi hai. That I condemned on day one. If any money is used to burn schools, that is condemnable.
Where is the
if? He didn't condemn. He's saying now because the Hurriyat has thrown out Naeem Khan, they've been left with no option.
And have they given any reason why they have thrown him out?
Arey bhaiya, maine tab bhi kaha, just go and take your.
No, you didn't. I was on that broadcast. Our viewers watched. Everyone watched that broadcast. Everyone knew exactly what you said.
I have been on your program for the last 3 days.
And everyone knows that you've been trying to defend Naeem Khan. Shazia Ilmi of the BJP is with us.
Both India, both India and Pakistan
the one thing that's being asked now is, will we also go after those in the past? Because once again, turn that down, please. 1 second. Those in the past who may have funded the Hurriyat, will they also be gone against? Yes.
So I think this is the worst fears that have come true. Also, I would like to say that I wish the youth of Kashmir should know that how this unholy war is being funded. That there are people out there who call themselves representatives of Hurriyat, who are pimping India's sovereignty and are playing with the lives of youngsters and are playing with the aspirations of the people living in the valley, claiming to be pro-Kashmiri. This is the Kashmiriyat we know about. I mean, I'm beyond shocked at this point of time. I'm glad for this expose. I hope people learn and realize the source of this funding. There is no ideological ground for what is happening, but it's lots of money. And literally, as Sushilji pointed out, it is members of Hurriyat who are actually applying at the desk of Pakistan to instill seeds of hatred and discontentment, and who are there as middlemen and pimps of India's sovereignty and integrity. And that is indeed very sad and shocking. And there is nothing worse. There is nothing worse a man or a citizen can be charged with. This kind of treason with your own motherland, with your own people. The biggest disservice these Hurriyat people are doing is with the Kashmiri people themselves. So it's not against India. They're hurting themselves. They're hurting the young boys.
Yes.
It's shameful. They should be beaten up. I think the stone pelters should come out, stand in front of people like Naim and their bosses and pelt at their houses. because they're using these young boys, they're using that sentiment not against India, against themselves.
Shazia, do you think it's enough for the Hurriyat conference to have thrown out Naeem Khan? They've thrown out Naeem Khan. Is that enough? Or do you believe the probe needs to go far deeper? Because Sayyid Ali Shah Gilani has very serious charges against him. His trusted lieutenant has spilled the beans, revealed Sayyid Ali Shah Gilani is in constant touch with Hafiz Saeed. In his own words, his own lieutenant is saying this, not the IB or the RAW that's saying it. His own key general is saying this. And now he's thrown Naeem Khan out. Can he get away, or do you believe we need to go all the way to the top of the rod?
I really think we need to go all the way to the top and to the bottom of the funding of this unholy war that is being staged, managed by the bosses and dons in Pakistan. I really think, and I think this is just the beginning of it. I think you've managed to scratch the surface and you see what lies there. There is no love for Kashmir or the valley or the youth, or there is no desire for any progress of Kashmir's betterment, but just self-interest, greed, and they're ready to harm their own interests, their own blood, their own kinmen. It is shocking. So I'm glad for this expose. 1, 2, I think NIA should go all the way, and it's already drilling Naim. I think the whole the entire maze of this activity will be soon unearthed, and I think this itself is a huge ground for Hurriyat itself to be banned, and not by.
You're asking for a ban on the Hurriyat? You're asking for a ban on the Hurriyat?
Yes. I don't speak in official capacity, but imagine people who are working not just against India, but against youngsters, against the future of Kashmir, of the youth.
I don't even see why that should be a question. Given what India today has exposed, there is a clear and compelling case for Hurriyat terrorists to be banned, to be booked for terror, for the Public Safety Act to be invoked. And the only person who's had the courage to say so in a senior capacity in the government has been General V.K. Singh. He said so when we spoke to him. Ram Madhav, when we spoke, was more ambivalent. He promised hard action against those who'd been exposed. He did not talk about banning the Hurriyat. Just before we brought you Operation Hurriyat, the Hurriyat Truth Tapes, we brought you Operation Stone Pelters, where some of the most prominent stone pelters of Kashmir, hardened, seasoned criminals, were caught on camera talking about how they take money, how much money they take was revealed by them to pelt stones, how it's a mercenary industry. I will get you that expose. We'll get you all the latest from Srinagar on the NIA probe. From what the officer told me, that probe is still on. These officers haven't broken for lunch or for dinner just yet. They're still looking at the files very carefully. We'll get a live update from Srinagar. Welcome back. You're watching our continuing coverage of the Hurriyat Truth Tapes. Over the past 1 week, we've brought you a biting expose which has laid bare the darkest, deepest secrets of the Hurriyat terrorists. I want to rewind just for a moment and bring you Operation Stone Pelters, where some of the most notorious entrenched stone pelters of Kashmir reveal how the stone pelting industry works. Remember, now the National Investigation Agency is probing all dimensions of funding in Kashmir, funding coming from Pakistan, funding being used to burn Kashmir. All of it now under the purview of the National Investigation Agency. They're also looking at who pays these stone pelters. So here are some of the most notorious stone pelters of Kashmir revealing how the stone pelting operation works.
At an undisclosed address in Baramulla, Zakir Ahmed Bhatt, a professional stone pelter and bomb maker, lists out his deadly attacks quite proudly.
सीमटपुर पे हमने एक पेट्रोल पंप लगाया था गाड़ी को, उसमें 2 बंदे लगे थे। कहाँ पर? सीमटपुर पे। कब लगाया था? ये 2014 का वाक़ा है। आपने लगाया? गुरु साहब के पास। बाद किसके? अफजल गुरु साहब के बाद, शहीद अफजल। अच्छा। आपने खुद लगाया था पेट्रोल पंप? नीचे से मैंने आपने लगाया था। 2 लोग जल गए थे उसमें पूरा? 2 लोग। आर्मी के? आपको पुलिस के।
Next is Mushtaq Weeri. wanted for violent stone pelting.
कितने फौजियों को, कितने पुलिस वालों को, कितने एमएलए मिनिस्टर्स को आपने घायल कर दिया अपनी पत्थरबाजी में?
कम से कम 30-35 होगा।
30-35 आर्मी के लोग घायल कर दिया आपने?
हाँ हुए हैं। केस एक बार खाया 6.5 महीने।
At an unknown address in downtown Baramulla, Mushtaq Veeri meets our undercover reporters with a mask on his face. He is wanted for his violent role in last year's stone pelting protests in the valley.
क्यों लगी थी आपने निकालने? जी?
बस ऐसे
जी?
डर लगता है इसीलिए।
किससे?
डर इसलिए लगता है हम पथराव करते, हम यहाँ पे ज़्यादा नहीं आते, इसलिए मास्क पहन के आते बाजार।
Veeri uncovers his face as the conversation progresses. With that, he also uncovers devastating truths behind the latest unrest in Kashmir.
कहाँ कितने रखे? हाँ कितने?
400, 500, 600, 700 ऐसे देते हैं दिन में।
एक दिन के?
हाँ।
और उसके पूरे दिन आपको पत्थर फेंकना होता है?
तो हम फेंकते हैं। जुमा के दिन हमें ज़्यादा भी देते हैं, 700-800 1000 भी देते हैं।
Next comes Ibrahim Khan. He reveals how the unnamed masterminds of stone pelting assign targets well in advance.
कौन कहता है आपको कि भैया आज पत्थर फेंकना है, कल पत्थर फेंकना है या परसों फेंकना है?
मेरे दोस्त लोग सर मैसेज कर देते व्हाट्सएप पे।
अच्छा व्हाट्सएप पे?
जी सर।
तो आपका अलग व्हाट्सएप करते हैं या कोई ग्रुप बनाया हुआ है?
कोई ग्रुप बनाया हुआ है सर, एक्सपीरियंस होता है सर।
But the vicious conspirators also exploit young children as stone pelters. Physical ability determines payment in such cases.
अच्छा जो नए लड़के होते हैं
जी
उनको कितना मिलता है?
उनको ही मिलता है सर जिस तरह का लड़का होगा सर, बॉडी शॉडी अच्छी होगी तो अच्छा ही मिलता है 7-7.5 हज़ार।
और जिसकी बॉडी कमजोर है, लड़का छोटा है,
उसको सर 5.5-6 हज़ार मिल जाते।
5.5?
जी सर।
जो और छोटे बच्चे हैं जैसे 7 साल, 8 साल, 10 साल, 11 साल, 12 साल, उनको कितना पैसा मिलता है?
सर उनको 4,000 से शुरू होता है सर।
With Jamshed Khan and Sushant Pathak, this is the India Today Special Investigation Team. Now that's Operation Stone Pelter. Sushil Pandit showing how stone pelting, in their own admission, and these are people who are saying we've been doing this for many years, and it's like having a job description. You know, the longer you've been in this, the more money you get, the better built you are, the more money you get. It's if you can throw stones further, the more money you get. You're lanky or weak, you get lesser money. It's like any other job for them.
Yeah, and stone pelting, you know, has become a nomenclature. In the course of stone pelting, they would pelt acid pouches, they would pelt Molotov cocktails, they would create fire. So, and in some odd cases even grenades. But yes, 80 to 90% of the times they would chuck stones. Because this is the report from bunker. This is from the soldiers who got burn injuries, who were singed by acid.
These are admissions of the stone pelters themselves.
Absolutely. And these, because, you know, it may not have created that kind of furor because they are nameless, faceless youngsters. They are the foot soldiers who got funded, and therefore you just take them in your stride. Today you've got the big fish in the net. They are the ones who are playmakers. They are the ones who fund this entire activity. They
That's
are the ones
difference.
who
Gaur
roam
Gilani,
around.
Sushil Pandit is bang on. The difference between Operation Stone Pelter, which was a very, very compelling expose done by the same investigative team, mind you, and the HurriyatTruthTapes, is that there you had people you didn't necessarily know, entrenched stone pelters who admit they've been doing this, but now you've got Naeem Khan, who even Gaur Gilani is not able to defend, who Sayyid Ali Shah Gilani is not able to defend, and Sayyid Ali Shah Gilani had to throw him out. That's the difference. Sushil Pandit says, we've now got the big fish.
Mr. Rahul, Mr. Rahul, your attempts to criminalize and delegitimize a legitimate political opinion and legitimate political struggle will not get you anywhere. Kashmir is that big elephant, Kashmir dispute, which needs a political solution according to the aspirations of the people of Jammu and Kashmir.
No, absolutely.
And that's it. And you have to come out with
this is something I just don't believe. Gaur Gilani,
these theories,
the fact that there is a problem in Kashmir, the fact that the problem needs to be dealt with, the fact that there needs to be an outreach to the people of Jammu and Kashmir is not in dispute.
Political problem.
But the fact is that there are crooks in the Hurriyat conference
not
being
outreach,
paid
a political
from
solution
the
according to the aspirations of the people.
ISI
and
to
that
burn Kashmir. That reality has been exposed. We have to talk. Of course, we have to reach out to the people of Kashmir. We have to win them over. There can be no dispute about that. But these crooks
Mr. Rahul,
these crooks
Mr. Rahul, I'll take 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Those crooks have been exposed.
10 seconds.
Yes, Mr. Gilani, they've been exposed.
Mr. Rahul,
what you will get to hear is a tour guide vocabulary.
10 seconds. I want you to go and read Outlook magazine 1995 issue and read what people of Kashmir want. There's another survey, Chatham House survey, and that has established that independence is the most dominant aspiration in Jammu and Kashmir. So that's it. Forget about all these dramas and these bedroom journalism. The fact is that people of Kashmir want independence, and that's the majority. Majority wants independence from both India and Pakistan. By two independent
Sushil Pandit pinches him so much because for the first time the real face of the Hurriyat has been laid bare.
Absolutely.
In a way that even Gaur Gilani and Sayyid Ali Shah Gilani
Sushil Pandit is my friend. I don't know why you want to create a wedge between us.
To accept that there is a problem.
Why you want to create a wedge between Kashmiri Muslim and Kashmiri Pandit? That is very divisive.
You welcome Kashmiri Pandits back. That's all we want. Welcome Kashmiri Pandits back.
An entire narrative has got smashed. This balloon has got punctured. This larger than life image of Hurriyat as some kind of freedom fighters with halos hanging behind their heads, it's gone, it's over, finito, go home. And if you can't prove the money trail, we will welcome you at Tihar and not with Goshtabas incidentally.
No, but this business
get ready
of the Hurriyat being allowed to eat Gushtaba and Rishta at home, that also needs to end. Hurriyat leaders like Sayyid Ali Shah Gilani sitting back in 5-star
Are you a new Indian Army chief?
It's mockery of detention. And detention has always been evoked only to assuage public opinion in rest of the country where government wants to be seen trying to do something.
They're sitting and eating Dudh Badam Malai.
Yes.
That's not okay. That's not punishment. If they have to be in Tihar jail, that is real punishment. And the sooner the National Investigation Team puts them there, the better it is. I want to bring you now a report filed by my colleague Devina Gupta. She went to the Leeds Convent School in Srinagar. She spoke to students who are talking about how their studies are being impacted. She was at the Botanical Gardens. And I'd like to show you this report because we've heard from the netas, we've heard from the activists. Let's listen now to the young voices of Kashmir.
We are here with the children of Leeds Convent School. Let's talk about their aspirations, what they want to be when they're growing up here in Kashmir. So Samra, you were talking about your school. What do you like about your school?
First of all, I'm really very thankful to my Almighty Allah because I'm part of this school, and then I'm proud of my parents. They had selected this school for me, and now this school is the best school, and whatever I am today, it's all because of this school. And I'm proud of my teachers because they're very hardworking, and also students are very good in my school. So I'm really very thankful to my Almighty Allah.
So what's your favorite subject, Samra?
Science.
And you want to be a doctor?
Of course, I want to be a doctor.
You want to be how many people want to be doctor here? How many children? Doctors? Doctors are here. Look at them. They all want to be doctors here. Okay, let's see if we can speak to some more students. आप डॉक्टर क्यों बनना चाहते हैं? डॉक्टर क्यों बनना चाहते हैं?
मैं लोगों को ठीक करना चाहता हूँ.
आप लोगों को ठीक करना चाहते हैं? Well, that's a good message. What about IAS officers? How many IAS officers? I saw someone who said I want to be IAS officers. That's a brave girl here. Let's go and speak to her. आपका नाम बताओ.
My name is Hurat.
Surat. Okay. Hurat. Hurat, why do you want to be an IAS officer?
I want to be IAS officer. I help poor people.
Mr. Hassan, please join us. You're the chairman of the school and he's agreed to let us speak to all these students here. Thank you, sir, for that. And brave students here who are future generation from Kashmir as well, sir. What are the challenges that you face in running a school like this?
Presently, the challenges which we are faced that are security purpose. There is politically instability, and at the first hand it should be settled. and this is the only thing. Otherwise, our students are much intelligent, and there is good direction. They want to go ahead, provided there is peace. And thank you.
But sir, is there somewhere down the line scare as well, because the national media and the news that we see of unfortunate incidents that have happened in the school, many have been burned down as well. Is there a scare that you feel when you're running a school?
We feel it. Why not? We feel it. But it is. We should see it is root cause. Why it is. Once it is settled forever, we don't have any problem.
And what about those who are behind this nuisance? What do you do with them?
We
Children, that's not acceptable.
nobody can dominate the situation later on.
Right.
And there the sense which we feel this time, communal sense throughout the country, that shouldn't be there. Once it is every young, these children, they smell it, they feel it, and later on they adopt it. These things should not be. It's not. Our politicians should think, first of all, they should settle Kashmir problem, and then they should avoid this communal sense, whatever is going throughout.
Not one of those youngsters said they want to join the Hurriyat conference. These are the real aspirations, Sushil, of the youngsters of Kashmir. They want to be IAS officers, the Indian Administrative Service officers.
Doctors.
Very clear what they want to be. They want to be doctors, they want to be engineers, just like everybody else. Those are the aspirations all of us must together work towards fulfilling.
And such bright children. Look at the energy in their talk. Look at them. I think it's such hope-evoking conversation.
You know, and these are the kids, Gohar Gilani, that the Hurriyat wants go out on the streets and pelt stones. Their own children are all over the world in some of the tuniest schools in Singapore, Hong Kong. They want these youngsters to pelt stones.
Lie of yours. This is not a convent school. सुनो मेरी बात यार, मेरी बात सुनो राहुल भाई. This is not a convent school. They don't have blue uniform. That's lie number one. Number two, the man said that we want a political settlement of this dispute. So that is the aspiration. So don't try to interpret it in your own way.
They want peace to return. That's what they say.
Look at the root cause. Did you hear anybody say, Gaur, that they wanted to join the Hurriyat?
They want political solution.
Did you see any of these youngsters say they want to join the Hurriyat conference?
They want Azadi from India. That is the political aspiration.
No, not one person said they want Azadi from India. You know, it's only crooks in the Hurriyat and the others who are saying that. Not one of those kids said it.
They don't want peace. They want a political solution. Peace with a solution.
So-called
political
leaders
solution.
who actually terrorists have been exposed by India today want these children to give up their schooling, to go to the streets and start pelting stones.
You stand exposed before the entire Indian audience because of your lies, peddling lies and lies and lies.
Their children study the world over, and they want these kids to pelt stones in Kashmir, Sushil.
They want their children to speak good English like those daughters, those young girls were speaking, such impressive turnout, such nice uniforms and school bags. But for other children, they would like their faces to be covered in masks, hands carrying stones, and braving police, being chased around. These are two contrasting images, and that's the kind of choice you leave for these children of Kashmir. I mean, it is pathetic. And someone like Gohar Gilani, who's himself found a good education, who himself is pursuing some kind of a career, would not let other children have it. That is the problem.
Gohar must respond.
अरे भैया इस चीज से बाहर आ जाओ. ये जोक वो मजाक छोड़ो. कश्मीर एक मसला है, डिस्प्यूट है, इसका सॉल्यूशन ढूंढना है. ये बाकी ये जोक वोक नहीं चलेंगे यहाँ.
This is a joke because
अपने आप को ये प्रोपेगेंडा करते रहोगे, कुछ हासिल नहीं होगा.
So much on the defensive. Now that Sayyid Ali Shah Gilani has thrown out Naeem Khan and accepted that Naeem Khan committed a crime for which he has to be thrown out of the Hurriyat conference.
आपका लॉजिक ये होगा कि हरभजन सिंह मनमोहन सिंह का रिश्तेदार होगा. आपका वैसा ही लॉजिक है.
Or words, not being able to understand today. So rattled he is that he's not unable to understand how to defend the Hurriyat conference.
I see you stand exposed before Indian audiences.
To defend the Hurriyat conference, that's how rattled he is. This probe, Sushil, is picking up pace.
Yes. I think you stand exposed before the Indian people, Indian audiences today because of your lies and lies.
What we're doing. Just look at any response. Social media, WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook. Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised if those who have been holding back will take decision to turn the tide from hereafter. You will notice that now government agencies will behave in a completely different manner. You will see a new government, a new leadership addressing this issue. You've offered an opportunity on a platter. Now there will be no remorse. There will be no restraint.
You know, I want to listen to what Amit Shah, Ravi Shankar Prasad, the law minister, Nitin Gadkari, transport minister, several other people in the government have to say about the Hurriyat Truth Tapes. Sushil Pandit saying this is an opportunity because never before has such incontrovertible evidence in the form of videographic testimonies been laid out in the public domain.
These are confessionals.
These earlier were charges by agencies, now these are admissions. It changes the game. There will be a before sting Hurriyat and an after sting Hurriyat. Even the likes of Gauhar Gilani left at a total loss of words, not able to defend those they've been defending for many years, because that is the nature of the evidence that's been laid out before our viewers. Tomorrow from 11 AM onwards, live on India Today and Aaj Tak, you can watch our editors roundtable where all the top Modi ministers will be coming, joining us one by one. Smriti Irani, Ravi Shankar Prasad, Piyush Goyal, Amit Shah, the BJP president, Nitin Gadkari, all of them will be there. We'll be looking at the 3-year performance of the Modi government. We'll also be pushing ahead with our expose on the Hurriyat conference. 11 AM is when it starts. We will be in conversation with BJP President Amit Shah, so I hope you tune in live both on India Today and on Aaj Tak for that. Thank you very much for tuning in this evening. This is an expose that is refusing to die down. One after another, a series of events which takes the story further and further in a way that Hurriyat and its sympathizers simply don't like, leaving them exposed once and forever. Goodbye, good night, our coverage continues.